Picture this. You're at a red light. On your left is Alex in a brand new, $40,000 SUV. It's got the new car smell, the pristine leather seats, and a touchscreen bigger than your laptop. On your right is Chris. He's sitting in a 10-year-old, slightly scratched sedan he bought for $8,000 cash. If you ask 99% of people on the street who is doing better in life, they'll point to Alex. They see the shiny paint and immediately think, success. They look at Chris and think, man, he must be struggling. But society is completely blind to the math. Because behind those tinted windows, Alex just signed his life away to a financial prison. Meanwhile, Chris just bought the ultimate luxury. His future freedom. Welcome back to FinLogic. Today, we need to talk about the new car trap. I'm going to show you the brutal 10-year math that keeps the middle class absolutely broke, just so they can look rich on the highway. Let's be honest. Why do we actually buy cars we can't afford? It is rarely about getting from point A to point B. Both of these cars go 65 miles per hour on the freeway. We buy them for the dopamine. We buy them for status. Behavioral economics proves that we are literally hardwired to show off our value to the tribe. When Alex signs that 72-month loan, he isn't buying a mode of transportation. He's buying a feeling. He's buying the respect of his neighbors, the envy of his coworkers, and a very expensive band-aid for his own insecurities. And trust me, the dealerships know this exact psychological flaw. They never sell you on the $40,000 price tag. They hit you with the one question that ruins lives. What do you want your monthly payment to be? By stretching a loan out to 6 or even 7 years, they trick your brain into thinking a mathematical disaster is just a manageable monthly subscription. But the dopamine always wears off, and the math always comes to collect. Let's break down the true cost of Alex's ego. To get that SUV, Alex put zero down. He took a 72-month loan at an 8% interest rate. That's a $700 monthly payment. But we aren't done. A financed new car requires full coverage insurance. That's another $150. He is bleeding $850 a month, just for the privilege of letting that piece of metal sit in his driveway. Now, enter the most silent wealth killer in the world, depreciation. The exact second Alex's tires rolled off that dealership lot, the car lost 10% of its value. Boom! $4,000 vanished into thin air before he even made it home. Over the next 5 years, that vehicle will lose roughly 60% of its total value. Fast forward 6 years. Alex finally makes the last $700 payment. He pops a bottle of champagne. But wait. He just paid over $50. 000 for a car that is now a 6-year-old, out-of-warranty used vehicle worth maybe $16,000. He paid $50,000 to hold a $16,000 asset. In the financial world, we call that a bloodbath. Now, look at Chris. Chris paid $8,000 cash for his boring, reliable sedan. 0 car payments. Dirt cheap insurance. But Chris isn't just a penny pincher. He is weaponizing his cash flow. Chris takes that exact same $850 a month that Alex is throwing into a depreciating asset, and he automates it into an SP 500 index fund. Every single month. Let's look at the 10-year opportunity cost. After a decade, Alex's car is falling apart, and he's probably back at the dealership signing up for another terrible loan. But Chris? By investing that $850 a month at a conservative 8% historical return, his portfolio has exploded to over $155,000. Let that sink in. Over $150,000. That is a house down payment. That is a fortress of financial security. That is the option to walk away from a toxic job. When you finance a depreciating asset, you aren't just paying interest to a bank. You are actively robbing your future self of compound growth. You are trading $150,000 of your future wealth for heated seats and a shiny logo today. Look, does this mean you have to drive a junk car until you die? No. But behavioral finance teaches us the power of delayed gratification. The real secret of the wealthy isn't that they hate nice cars. It's that they buy nice cars in cash, using the passive income generated by their investments. They don't fund their lifestyle with debt subsidized by their 9-to-5 job. So, the next time you pull up to a red light, remember this. True wealth is quiet. Fake wealth is loud. The guy in the shiny new SUV is probably drowning in debt, while the guy in the 10-year-old sedan might just be the millionaire next door. If you want to stop falling for the psychological traps that keep everyone else broke, Hit subscribe to FinLogic. I'll see you in the next one.